Hey guys, Lemon02, currently drafting an 8-4, I'm sorry, a single limb league for M19. This is an interesting pack because, I mean, we have Shock, Lightning Mare, and Spitflame in this pack, all of which I think are playable cards. I think Spitflame being the best. It is very solid removal. But I kind of like taking the Exclusion Mage because I don't think Snapping Drake is like an exceedingly high pick. I could see wheeling a green card of this pack. Gifted Paradise is also interesting, but I think Exclusion Mage is just a very, very good card. I think it's probably, I don't know if it's better than Spitflame, but because I think there's better red cards in this pack than there are blue cards, I'm going to take it. And I think blue tends to be underdrafted a bit. All right, well, then comes a Poison Tip Archer, which I think is a great card. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Poison Tip. There's also Daggerback Basilisk. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I think this card's phenomenal. If I don't really want to go three colors in this format, but I'm gonna take it speculatively because I think the upside on this card is so high. I mean, it's a Doomblade on its own. It does random damage. It blocks anything. I've never done Sultai in this format either. I mean, maybe that's the thing we could do if you get enough. Like if you get like three tap lands that fix, I think it's definitely doable to go into three colors and have a fairly distributed mana cost requirements. Okay, Surge Mare I think is a great card. I also like Vampire Neonate. Ravenous Harpy is no slouch, and Surge Mare is great. Um, hmm. Ravenous Harpy does kind of combo with the Poison Tip Archer. I think I like Neonate here. Neonate has been just such a great card for me in this format. Surge Mare is also very good, though. I'm going to pick up the Mare. Okay, well, I don't think I want to take a Dwindle right now. I do think Blood Divination can be a very good card. ROC's Oracle I think is also quite strong. I think worth picking up over a Colossal Dreadmaw, probably. Dwindle is not bad. I think I'm going to take this dude. And then, I actually like Skymarch Bloodletter the best in this pack. Alright, well, pretty easy Poison Tip Archer. We may be going three color, we may just be going black-green here. If we're going three color, I really am not high on playing Surge Mare. I'd splash Exclusion Mage, I think, in this deck, but I don't think I would splash a double color card. And since I do think green is going to be one of the more open colors, it tends to be, I'm going to take it here. I'm going to, probably play to that. Alright, another Skymarch Bloodletter is a sign that black's relatively open. There's Cancel in this pack, Disperse, but Skymarch Bloodletter is just a great threat. And it works decently well with Poison Tip Archer. Now I'm kind of wishing I'd taken I trusted my instincts, taking the Neonate. Even though there's a bunch of uncommons that were good in that pack, I think Neonate is actually a very, very strong common. Like, I'm always generally impressed by the card, and it's just a good mana sink in the late game, blocks in the early game. And it's going to tend to combo well with Poison Tip Archer. This could be like a Death by 1,000 Cuts style deck, I think. We are lacking removal spells right now, but I mean, two Poison Tip Archers are basically removal spells. And they definitely have bait racing. So do Skymarch Bloodletters. Exclusion Mage may or may not be a pipe dream. I'm not committed to my first pick, but I do like this card a lot. I think it's a phenomenal tempo play. Um, you know, so I wouldn't mind splashing it. I mean, I think it's good any point in the game, like on curve or off curve. I think the card does a lot of work for you. Okay, well, we have gear per guide, which I think is what I'm going to take here. Um, Over what else? Salvager's not doing anything in this deck. There's a Macabre Waltz, which I think is actually quite good, but I think I can get later. I'm going to take the Uncommon. Alright, well, I'm probably going to take Macabre Waltz, I think, over a Titanic Growth. Alright, do I want Plummet? Do I want the ability to splash, possibly, or do I want an Aperture? Aperture is just a fine card. Plummet is also a very strong sideboard card. But I think I'd rather have a threat right now. Oh, Neonate came around? That card is great. I don't know why it would still be left in the pack, but hey, whatever. If people don't value it, I value it very highly. Mind Rot, great. Better than Recollect, I think. I already have a Waltz, which, I mean, this deck's not generally going to want to Recollect anything that's not a creature. Probably going to want to Recollect, or not Recollect, but Waltz the Poison Tip Archers. I think I'm fine running one Aperture. I don't like running a ton of them unless I'm in like black-white committed life gain. This deck's not, but I mean, if the Neonate wield, I think black's going to be relatively uncontested, or it should be relatively uncontested. Root Snare. The one issue this deck does have is it doesn't have a lot of good 2s right now. Resembling Skeleton is a card I actually like a decent bit in this style of deck. It works well with the Poison Tip Archer. Rogue's Gloves is also not a bad card, but I think I'm going to pick up a Resembling Skeleton here because of its synergies. Alright, then there was this pack, which, you know, Giganosaurus is like virtually unplayable. I think the mono green deck is just mono bad. I think it's just Giant Spider here, sadly enough. But it's a card I can play in this deck, and it's going to, you know, we passed on a Plummet. We do have the 2 Poison Tip Archers, but Giant Spider does tend to go up the ground and bide time for a deck of this style to kind of get through there. Because I think this is going to be kind of a slower, more like board control style deck. I'm probably not gonna splash this dude, unfortunately. Being realistic with myself, I do think this deck is going to want to run one Macabre Waltz, though. It has some pretty high upside cards like the Poison Tip Archers. ROC's Oracle is just fine. I'm not exceedingly high on the card, but you know it trades off decently well. Alright, Nightmare's Thirst is quite good. I like Daggerback Basilisk to no small extent as well. Militia Bugler is the best card in the pack. But I think Daggerback Basilisk is going to do more of what this deck wants. I mean, I'm not quite in such desperation mode for 2-drops, so I'm going to take a Field Creeper. Nightmare's Thirst is not a bad card, though. I think it's still got to be a Basilisk. Yeah, I always have this card. This pack's awesome for me, but it's a pretty easy demon here. Probably a Basilisk over a Rex Sage and some other nonsense. Alright, now we're getting a little too much on the Basilisk, but I mean, Basilisk is a good card. I mean, it's essentially a Doomblade. I like the mono Death Touch deck. I mean, it does die to shock, but like I said, though, I do need to get some 2-drops for this deck to make the demon a little bit better. There was a Neonate we passed up on. I would like some Doom Dissenters for this deck. I think that card's very good, especially if I want to run Macabre Waltz. But again, I think black is fairly open. Especially, I always have demon. Like whenever I 3-0, I have demon catastrophes in my deck. I don't know why. This may be even a foil one. I can't tell. The card's very strong. I don't know why it goes so late. Ravenous Harpy, or Archer, or Foul Orchard, or Plummet. I think it's going to be a Harpy here. Alright, Plague Mirror is actually very strong. It's a good... I mean, now I'm like really heavy on 3s, though. I need to pick up 2s. The Harpy does work well with the Resembling Skeleton. Like, I wouldn't mind one more Neonate and, like, now just really just 2s. I mean, like, this deck would be complete if it had, like, four more 2-drops. So I'm going to have to prioritize them very highly here. I'm not really high on Aperture of Blood, so I don't think I need to play that. I mean, if we don't get more 2s, I mean, I think we're going to get overrun by aggro just in the early game. We need more, like, chump blockers and just nonsense to throw in the way. We do have a Plague Mare against, like, the Mono Instigator deck that tries to Trumpet Blast you out. I mean, this deck, ROC should generally be very good against that deck anyways. Alright, naturalize, yep, sure. I mean, it could be a woodland stream to fix for the exclusion mage. We're only in pack 2. I guess I forgot we're in pack 2 because I almost have a playable deck. I'm going to pick up a woodland stream here, just in case. Like, I could want to play this exclusion mage. If I got a couple of them, I may. I think the card is better than, like, Gear Per Guide. And I think I can get a naturalize a little easier than I can get mana fixing. I mean, it just depends on how this draft goes. When I mean 2-drops, I don't mean 2-drop spells like naturalize. Yep, this pack doesn't do anything for us. I'll pick up an Infernal Scarring, I guess, for signaling purposes. Alright, Macabre Waltz, number 40. Number 2, really, but, yep. This deck's weird. I mean, like, I don't know where the 2-drops went. This whole pack came back. Well, Neonate's easily what I'm going to pick up here. Abnormal Endurance is good, but I need critters. I need blockers in the early game, and Neonate certainly gums up the ground. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, there's a world in which we need this sideboard card more than we need that. Sovereign's Bite, like, if I didn't have any, like, 2s, I could play it just to, like, keep myself alive. I mean, it's straight up card disadvantage, but I mean... Alright, Poison Tip Archer is great. Vine Mare is also pretty great. I mean, not as much so without enchantments. I think it's probably just another one of these, and I'm going to cut the Giant Spider at this point. Because I'd prefer not to play it if I don't have to. I mean, Skymarch Bloodletter is a great card. Yeah, I mean, I can't say no to Skymarch Bloodletter. I'll probably cut the Gear Per Guide. Really need those 2s, though. I mean, this deck has a lot of good value going on after 2. I mean, sadly enough, it's just Child of Night pull. I mean, it's not a Sky Scanner. It's not a Mystic Archaeologist. Mystic Archaeologist is a great card, but no thanks. Just need some random junk to throw in the way. Need some cards to throw into the bus. Goodness gracious. I mean, Sovereign's just a hell of a card, right? I think it's got to be Druid of the Cowl here. I mean, we'll probably wheel one of the black cards. I mean, the Poison Tip Archer could even come around seeing how this draft's gone so far, but I think I'm just take Druid of the Cowl. I just need to gum up the earth. I mean, the ground needs to be gummed up. I mean, I wouldn't mind cutting this card if I got enough playables, because, I mean, right now, like, I'm going to put it in the sideboard, because I you know, if I'll play it if I have to. I'll play it before I think I'll play an Aperture of Blood, because I'd prefer just to draw and just get through my deck a little more. We could add another Exclusion Mage and try to play the Woodland Stream, but, like, I'm already pretty glut, or I already have a pretty, you know, a pretty big glut of 3-drops. Doom Dissenter is the kind of card I'm looking for. I wouldn't mind Fell Spectre. Foul Orchard would be great, but I think it's a pretty easy Doom Dissenter for this list. Because, like I said, we just need to stay alive to get to our demons and our Poison Tip Archers. You know, the one issue with Daggerback Basilisk is you can drop it on 3 and just be dead on 4. So that is one kind of downside to it. If it sticks and they can't attack through it, then it's just great, because then you just transition into 4, and then it's like kind of, you know, a moot point. Alright. We're at 18 creatures with 20 playables right now. I mean, I have more than that for playables. I think I'm just going to take an Abnormal Endurance for this deck. I think it is going to... It's just a good combat trick. I don't want a ton of that effect, but, I mean, having one of them I think is fine. So I don't think we would mind being a 20-creature deck. And there is a chance the Poison Tip Archer does wheel. I mean, I'll play 4 of them. The card is good enough to play 4 of. I don't know if this is the deck that exploits the most, but this deck certainly isn't bad at exploiting it. It's kind of odd to pass it, but I mean, like I said, I really just need to flesh out this part of the curve. But we really only have, what, 3 creatures at the 2 spot, 2 at the 1-drop spot, and then just a ton of 3s. Ravenous Harpy is also the most impressive card. I mean, it's a cool little combo with Poison Tip Archer and the Doom Dissenter Resembling Skeleton, which also combo out well with the Demon of Catastrophes, but this thing just takes a long time to get going. Okay, well, I think this is pretty easy. I guess it's not. Highland Game is a consideration, but like Gravedigger is just so much of a higher quality card that I think I'm going to play it here. I'm at 22. I mean, I could see myself cutting a Mind Rot here. Gravedigger is pretty amazing, though. I mean, we could be cutting a Macabre Waltz, too, if I got enough... You know, crazy enough, I think Oh, Rapid Bite's in this pack? No, it's Rapid Bite. Easy. I was thinking about taking the 1-drop because like I just want to get them up the ground early just to stay alive against certain decks, like the aggro decks in the format. Alright, well, certainly not another Mind Rot. I could just take another Sovereign's Bite. Call me crazy, I can actually see playing this against certain decks. Probably better than Sun Cleanser. Yeah. I mean, the best cards are Omen Speaker, Aviation Pioneer, and Mind Rot. But I can't really see myself playing multiple Mind Rots. Whereas, like, I could see certain aggressive matchups where I do want to have more of that effect. Alright, it's probably I'm at 23. I'm going to pick up a Field Creeper just in case there's matchups where I want to have more interaction in the early part of the curve. Naturalize is a great pickup. Child's a great pickup. Foul Orchard is awesome. So we can actually cut one now. What card do we want to cut? I mean, it could be a Mind Rot. Could be a Mind Rot. I could see that. I think this deck came together pretty well. The Poison Tip Archer did not come around. I guess someone just picked it up because they're probably not playing it. But I don't think I needed 4. 3 is, I think, good enough. Alright. Well, I think this list looks pretty good. I think that's a good split, too. I mean, we have 6 green sources. Yeah, this list looks good to me. I mean, I think this is going to be good. I mean, we have 1 Rabid Bite, a bunch of Basilisks, a bunch of these things. A Demon of Catastrophes, a Gravedigger, a Macabre Waltz, Harpy, you know. This deck's I think going to be great. Like, this deck's going to be fun to play at a minimum. I was a little nervous going into Pack 3 because my 2-drop count and below was just pretty miserable. And it's like, it's still not phenomenal. Like, I don't have a lot of premium 2s. I have 2 Childs of Night in this deck, but I do think I want them. Just to not get out aggroed. It could be right to run the 1 Mind Rot. I mean, over the Ravenous Harpy. This is going to be a deck that wants a lot of creatures, though. With 3 Poison Tip Archers. And it's also another flyer with 3 Sky March Bloodletters. We also have a decent little like life gain theme going on. I mean, we have the Neonates and the Letters. And the Children of Night. So, there's that, plus all the pinging off of the Archers. Alright, I would love to play first. I mean, this hand's interesting, right? I think I actually keep this. I mean, this just depends on what we're facing, right? I'm going to keep this. It's a little speculative. I won't lie about that. It's hoping to draw some on-curve things. Like if I draw a 3-drop, I think I'll be okay. I don't think I need to have a 2-drop. I mean, that would be the best, but, you know. Or a 1-drop off curve. They have a 1-drop. They have a Hushwing Falcon. Jesus, alright. We're playing the aggro deck. Alright, go. We could be getting overrun here, guys. This was a speculative keep if we knew we were placing off with like a white-red aggro deck. This deck is so obnoxious, too. Because it plays like these terrible cards. Like Hushwing Falcon is nothing. Daggerback, go. Probably going to bolt it or something like that. It's fine. They could enchant this thing, too. You have a Bogart Brute. Yep. Well, the good news is this. I'm just going to jam here. If they have a bolt, they have a bolt, but I'm going to force them to do it. Then I'll drop Poison Tip Archer plus Neonate next turn. If they have Sure Strike, they could blow me out, but what can you do? They don't attack. Alright, interesting. Alright, I got Poison Tip Archers for days. What is my opponent holding? Maybe they have like a Siegebreaker Giant or something like that. Alright, there's another one. Get in there, you. No one wants to block this thing. The Cleansing Nova. Alright, this thing. That's fine. It just trades with one poison tip archer. Coming right up. Yep. Yep. To what? Probably to one of the poison tips. Okay. This is why I wish I had like a declared dominance in this deck. This could be a double block on this thing. I'm still going to throw it out there. With the Motivator plus the Rustwing Falcon. I think I would eat the Motivator before the Rustwing. If they want to do that trade. Nope. Just a Valiant Charge or something like that. Okay, Bugler. The old Bugler. But at this point, I do want to keep some landage. Alright, Drill Master, they can push damage through with something. If they want. I mean, the question becomes, do they have a Valiant Charge? We could eat that with their Volcanic Dragon if they like. Yep. I think you're dead, man. Actually, I know you are. You're very dead. There's a lot of triggers. It's 8 damage exactly. Alright. That's kind of one of the crappy things about facing off against that card is that you can just get completely blown out by it. You want a Root Snare in this matchup? I think I'm just going to run it back. I mean, I kept all 4 drops and won that game, but I think it's very hard for this style of deck to lose to that style of deck. I mean, the card quality is just so much higher in my deck than it is in theirs. I mean, they did have a Volk Dragon, which is a good card, but, like, does not pair off well against, you know, a 4-drop that just kills it and blocks. I mean, they probably have some number of, like, Valiant Charges and Trumpet Blasts in their deck. Alright, this hand really needs to draw green mana, but I think I'm going to keep it. Best draw is probably Foul Orchard turn 1. Instigator. Motivator's coming out. Yep. Or not Instigator, Motivator. That stinks. Alright, Doom Dissenter at least looks like it probably trades well with a lot of their stuff, and it combos well with Demon of Catastrophes. We're going to get hit by probably a 2-1. Nope, just by this thing. No attacks. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm going to play out the Doom Dissenter and say go. They have, what's that silly card called? They have a Bogart Brute here. They're going to get in for a little bit of damage, get in for 3. They don't want to get in for 3? You can give it haste and attack me. There you go. I figure you do that. Yep. Alright, we missed. Go. Not good for us. I mean, any land is still going to allow us to cast the Sky March, but at this point we really do want to hit a green source because we can put out the Druid of the Cowl and then go into Demon of Catastrophes. We're going to have to trade our team here for this thing, though, and they could have a trick. I mean, it's very likely they do. Missing on lands is one of the ways you lose this game, this style of game. Alright, well, we're not going to block it, I suppose, then. We'll block the Cavalry Drill Master. I'll trade the Doom Dissenter for it. If my opponent wants to give it haste. Yeah. Sure Strike? I mean, I don't care. That's fine. Yeah, they're going to make a Sure Strike on it. That's cool. Sure Striking on the Motivator seems really bad to me, though. This attack seems kind of foolhardy. I mean, if they're going to use a trick on it, that's fine. They're down a card, and they've just basically kept their Motivator alive for 2 mana, but also given me a 2/2. They're going to do it, it looks like. This is a bad attack, though. Yeah, I don't like how my opponent's played this. Alright, well, I know I said I wanted to draw some mana here. But I think for now we're just going to hang back. And be content to block here. They had to use a pretty good combat trick. Now they have 5 mana. I'm open for my next land draw. And I don't know what I do with it. I'd probably just play out a Poison Dip Archer at this point in the game. You have more combat tricks. And nothing. The old Rustwing. Just Siegebreaker. Okay, just Banefire on that thing. Cool. Get him for 1 then, I suppose. They're at 0 cards, though. I mean, the right play here may just be to attack and then sack. Alright, go ahead. There's a 6/6 to deal with. Let's draw a Swamp next turn, then I can go Macabre Wall, Stitching, probably Druid. Probably no attack here. Alright, well that's even better. Just do this. Plus this and an attack. Yeah, opponent's use of Sure Strike was surely questionable. Banefire, I mean, it got rid of a Poison Dip Archer, but next turn I'll have another one. Yeah, they're just done. Alrighty, well, that worked out well. I mean, this deck tends to do very well against red-white. I mean, I think my last draft I put up pretty much drafted something similar. I just did not have the Poison Dip Archers, which I obviously have in this build. I could have had up to 4 of them, but I think we went the correct way in building up the lower end of the deck. That draw almost got us. I mean, we We had some poor variance there in the beginning with just missing on land drops on the draw, but luckily we were able to kind of pull through it. And the Demon is quite the card. I think the card's pretty amazing in this format. I don't know why more folks don't play it. I always get it passed to me, and I think the card's just a bomb. Alright, this is very keepable. It needs to hit lands, but it's keepable. Preferably swamp lands. Alright, opponent's mulliganing heavily. Well, the way I lose this is I just miss on land drops. Alright, my opponent's probably doomed here. If they're playing mono green, I feel even better. The chances of them blocking the Doom Dissenter are pretty low, I think. I mean, they could do it. They may just concede here. I mean, maybe not. Maybe they're going to play through it. That's a pretty monstrous blow to their life total. And if they have, like, the Rabid Bite combo, I can just Ravenous Harpy away my threat. My Demon, that is. Alright, they're just done. Alright, green, red. Well, I think I like my chances against green-red. I mean, they're going to probably have some red removal for the Poison Tip Archers. But Poison Tip Archers is very good against green. Daggerback's good in the green mirrors, you know, so. Alright, this hand's great, so yeah, I'm going to keep it, especially in the draw. It wants to draw lands, and possibly bigger threats. Probably not more Neonates, but that is a draw of a card. True to the Cowl, go. Okay, Onaki Ogre. Alright, if you want a Sure Strike or a Giant, or Sure Strike that thing, you can. Okay, this thing is fine. Definitely want to hit landage here. Nope, go ahead. We can force through a lot of damage here. Okay. I don't think they can triple activate here. Okay. And game, Exacxes. Wow, that was tight. Prodigious Growth kind of got us out of nowhere there, but I mean, or whatever that card is called, I always forget its name. It reminds me of, what is it, Prodigious, whatever the +1/+1 counters are on a bunch of crap. Very tight game, though. Down to basically 1 life point. Exactly. Another one of the reasons why I do think Siegebreaker is quite good, but I mean, the fact that it dies to Strangling Spores, and I think can oftentimes be outraced, is not irrelevant. That was a tight game, though. Definitely down to the wire. But that is what Poison Tip Archer does. I mean, it just generally tends to accrue a lot of value. Make it very tough to race. And it's certainly shone through there, or shined through there. So, I mean, we're at a minimum going to prize out of this. Hopefully our last round goes well, and, you know, we have favorable pairings and play some good Magic and get a little bit lucky. I'd like to play first. Yeah, it's a keepable hand. Back go. Well, green-white enchantments I think should be a pretty favorable match. If they play the Enchantress card, I'm just going to kill it here. Alright, this thing. Okay, we'll trade. It basically has unblockable because of the damage you take off of it. And you're behind a card, which feels pretty good to me. Luminous Bonds this thing, that doesn't seem great. Probably need to get a threat down. That's why my best draw is any land. Alright, Luminous Bonds is fine, I mean. go. I could have played the Harpy out here. But if I draw a land, I probably want to... Okay, Rocks Oracle, cool. I think... Okay. Hieromancer's Cage, getting probably the other Poison Tip Archer, cool. I kind of want to see if I can get him to play more things out. Okay, that dude's big. Pretty much exactly what we want to draw here. Okay, Rock's Oracle really can't block well, so I don't think they have an attack here. Alright, that's a good card. Yep. Fine, get through. Yeah, I should have probably considered that. Could have actually killed there. That's my mistake. I should have... Actually, no, I couldn't have. I needed the death triggers to happen. I'll just win right now. There you go. There, can you gain life? Do you have like a revitalize or something? Okay. That is a way. you do here? Can't really block, can't afford to take it. Okay, I was going to say, I mean, you can't afford to block, you can't afford to take it, so I think it's over. Alright, well, I think our deck seems pretty decent against theirs, so I think we just rejam it. Again, green decks don't tend to be very good against a bunch of Daggerback Basilisks and Poison Tip Archers. I do like the Macabre Walls to kind of accrue advantage. The Neonate's probably going to be less good in this matchup, but the 6 Death Touchers main deck plus the Demon all seem quite good. And we have a Resembling Skeleton, which I guess blocks for a bit. They have some solid cards, though. Like, the Gaspar Twins is a quick clock. I mean, it's just... I probably could have been more discerning on how I blocked there. Maybe I want to naturalize to deal with their Hieromancer's Cage. I don't know about that, though. That seems a little bit speculative. I'd like to see more first before I bring it in. Alright, this hand's great. I mean, it's got a great curve going on. It doesn't have my best cards in the matchup, but it does have a good curve, and they're mulliganing, so on the play. Their best drop on 2 is to drop the Green Seeker. That could be a card that wins the game for them very easily here. They have it. Alright, well, Druid of the Cowl is no slouch, but it's certainly not Green Seer, or Seeker, or Seer, whatever that thing is called. Obviously, my Child of Night's not really great here. Alright, they do have the Green Seeker. But they missed their land. Rapid Bite would be probably pretty nice here. I guess given that consideration, maybe I wanted to wait. Alright, this thing's fine. Alright, they found a plains. Okay, the Satyr is kind of spooky. I don't think I need to put Druid of the Cowl out. Alright, they're hitting on lands here. That is good for them. Yeah, they have another card engine on board, so that's kind of spooky. I mean, Dryad Greenseeker is probably the best card we saw out of their deck. I mean, this card could be good depending on how many enchantments they're running. Okay, a Johnny's Primate. And a Basilisk. Okay, they missed. So we can just win next turn if they just can't stop the air game I've got going on. I mean, I don't know if I want to go all in on it. I mean, it may be worth it. They just play a big bomb out. Alright, that kind of stinks. Okay. They're kind of going all in on these, so I probably do want to bring in the naturalize. Targeting what? Alright, that dude. Okay. I think I'm willing to take 4 here. Yep, no, I want to save this dude. And try to knock my top deck and find my my bombs, my three best cards. All right, they found another planes. Oh, that Green Seeker's been good to them. That is for sure. It's going to be like a bomb. Alright, just this card. Alright, well, we're not really hitting pay dirt here. So, just pass it back. Alright, found other planes. Well, they're finding some gas. They're certainly way ahead on cards. I do think our card quality is probably a little higher. I mean, this may be... The Green Seeker is a card that I would play in any deck that's running green. Like, the card is just amazing. That's going to get through. Alright. Okay. We have a pump spell. Well, hopefully we can get out of this fugue of lands we've been hitting off the top. I think we have more lands than they do in play, and we've been just kind of sitting here. Alright, found a forest. Seems nice. They haven't really shown a good way to close the game out, though. Alright, there's the twins. Well, are we dead? We very well may be. So we have them at a virtual 2. Which means I need to demise something, anything next turn. Finally don't hit a land? Alright, they didn't hit a land. I mean, it could be a great card, but... I may just be dead here. I haven't done the math. So I'm taking 7. Very close. Okay, Gear Per Guide will make it so that they can just win right now. Let's force them to show they're going to do it. Yeah, I didn't plan on blocking that dude anyway, so that's fine by me. Okay. Okay. Still lethal, right? That's 11 plus 2, 12, yep. Well, let's see what we would have drawn. Child would not have done it. Bloodletter would have actually been close. Anyways, I think we can beat this deck. I think we just need to draw a little better. I do think we want to naturalize in from the sideboard. They have a lot of enchantments, it appears. And what we cut for it? Abnormal Endurance is interesting. I think I want Macabre Wall still. I'll cut an Abnormal Endurance for a Naturalize. I mean, I think if we had a Naturalize there at some point in time, I mean, we just drew all lands. It would have been pretty solid. All right, this hand's a keep. It does need to draw forest lands, but right now, I mean, we're waiting until turn 4 to do that. But we're on the play, and we've got a 2 and a 3. That seems pretty good. Alright, if we had to draw a land, it was not a swamp we wanted to draw, but what can you do? Alright, come on, Forest off the top ropes. Or, I guess a castable would be fine, too. I could get behind a castable card. Forest would be the best here, though. Alright, well, I can also get behind that. So I think they'll trade. I don't want to take that risk. I mean, do they have Hieromancer's Cage in their deck and Luminous Bonds? Yes. But I'm going to do it. At least it forces their hand this turn, as opposed to natural development. And we have a naturalize, so if we draw into our green mana ever, we could do that. And if they just don't have it, then we can start beating down in the air for a lot of damage. And if we draw a forest at any point in time, I think we're going to be okay. Alright, this card does nothing here. Get in there, you. Don't hit it. Very easy block here. Well, you kind of blocked yourself into a forced position here. I mean, I guess unless they have a trick of some sort, like Giant Growth. They're just done. I was going to say, I didn't like that attack. Anyways, didn't get green mana that last game. We got a little lucky. Our opponent just didn't have one of their Luminous Bonds, their Hieromancer's Cage. Man, we managed to go 3-0 with another black-green deck. I think black-green actually is one of the stronger archetypes. It's very good against the aggro decks, and as you can see there, it tends to do pretty well in the green mirrors. If we ever hit a forest that last game, I think we just ran them over. It was just a rifle stomp. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Had fun playing, and put this one up so you guys can view it, and hopefully tell me what I did wrong or tell me what I did right, and hopefully learn from it. Alright guys, enjoy and take care now.